Yeah, thanks a lot, Anne. And thanks a lot, Afolabi, for coming on today. Afolabi and I met last year at the National Customs Brokers Association conference. We had great chat and discussion. He's a super entrepreneur, very successful in the trade space and the software space. And yeah, we're very lucky and pumped to have you on, Afolabi.
Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to do a little, people always ask me how I got into this. So I'm going to do a little bit of my story on how everything came to be. But let me make sure my screen is on. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I used to sell products on Amazon for several years, and one day I think it was just by accident. I was just kind of looking into all my customs declaration forms and trying to find out why my duty rate is so high. And I bumped into this 7501 form, and I'm like, what is this? So I took a look at it. It was the customs declaration form, and it explains the HTS code that was used to classify my product. And I looked at it, at the description, and it says photographic plate or something like that. I'm like, that's not what I'm selling. Why am I paying duties? Why am I paying duties on the wrong product? And I think my duty at that time was probably 35% or something like that. And I said, this is not my product. There's got to be a better way to do this thing. So I started digging. I started learning about HTS code, HS code, classification. There's 13,000 plus lines. I started combing all through the government's website to actually finally find the code that applies to my school supplies. I was selling school supplies, like a dry erase board. And when I found the code, the duty rate was 3.5%. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. From that one exercise, I was able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars because I was spending a lot of money buying inventories from China at that time. So I came to conclusion like there's got to be a simpler way to do this. There's got to be a simpler way for a Joe Blog from nowhere, somebody that doesn't have any experience like myself, to classify products, to really do it right without having to jump through several hoops. Because many people importing from overseas, I found out that they're just trusting their freight forwarder or trusting their shippers to give them the correct HS code or HTS code. And in most cases, these are very wrong. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to develop something. Let me just try to build something that will make it so simple for anybody to just search, find, any HS code so that they can stay compliant with the law. So that's why I built Tariffly. That's how Tariffly was born. I just wanted to make it a dumbed down version of any HCS code classification. So today, now that we're talking about fish and wildlife, we could start with uh, uh, like you were talking about the HTS code for yellowfin tuna. You can either search by the HTS code or you can search by the name of the product, and then you select what country is coming from. So in this case, I put in the HS code for yellowfin tuna, and I see it's coming from China, and I click on next, and it's going to guide me to step 2. Okay, the system already picked up that this HS code corresponds to a live animals. So I click on it. It already shortened it to me because there are several live animals, but because we're using AI to make it go really fast, it already listed and sorted out everything for me to only include one live animal category that belongs to that HS code. So I'm going to say select, and it's going to tell me, okay, well, we found some attributes that we think you should you need to drill down more so that you can classify this correctly. So since we're talking about fresh, we're going to pick fresh, and then the manufacturing process, it's live, so it's not a fillet or anything like that. It's not like an internal organs or whatever for the fish. I'm going to pick that, and I'm going to click next. So here it gives me a view of, just a quick view of what the duty rate is. But in order to see the full picture, we have to really look at the view rate details. So I click on view rate details. Now it gives me the full picture. And there are several things I can do from this page. I can either copy this HTS code and give it to my freight forwarder or my shipper, or I can start monitoring this code, because as you guys always talk about in Byte, that things are changing every time. You have to stay on top of this thing every time. So you can start monitoring the HS code by just clicking this, or you can suggest whatever keyword you use, you can suggest it to Tariffly. It's going to start using that keyword to learn more. But some really cool things are happening here. It says that there are 3 compliance or regulatory alerts here. And if you click view, it's going to take you to them. But before we get to viewing the alerts, we're going to see that right here, it's subject to PGA. The duty rate from China and the 301 code is here. The expiry date, the country of origin you use. It's saying the complexity is low because there's not a lot of suffixes that this product is affected by. So when we click on the PGA alerts here, if you click on view details, then you're going to be able to see what kinds of alerts are involved, so that you can respond and act accordingly and stay compliant. And the more you scroll down, you can see what kind of 301 we applied to it. And you can actually calculate your exact duty rate. If you're bringing this fish from China, you can, let's say you paid your supplier, $345,000. You can calculate the duty rate here. Our calculator already has all the, I think, 12 categories and 12 combinations and formulas that the CBP has. You can go down. If you're into export, you can actually see your Schedule B here. And the more you go down, you can now also see the special trade programs. A lot of people use this to do tariff engineering, and they want to know what other countries can I import this product from that is going to make it cheap or free duty. Germany is free. You can also search by any country you want. If you're bringing it from, say you're bringing it from Taiwan, you can click on that. It's going to say, okay, it's free from Taiwan. You can search by a specific trade program. If you want to click on Japan, you can search through that. Another cool thing I built into this is similar products with lower duty rates. Some people, especially in e-commerce or some other importers, they say, oh, well, we want to find out if there's a lower tariff for another kind of fish, maybe Atlantic cod or sea bass or whatever. It has a lower duty rate. We will kind of pick it up from here. It will show if there's any lower rate for that. And this is where you will see all your chapter notes, your section notes, your rules of interpretation. Russia, Belarus is here. So, talking to a lot of users, they tell me, wow, this is like a 5th grader thing. I say, yeah, that's actually my goal. I wanted to make it so simple because I started with not knowing anything about HTS code and HS code. So I wanted to build it for somebody from beginner stage to really advanced stage. If you want to dig deeper, you can go as deep as you want. Do you want us to look at other codes, or this is more than enough? And
maybe why don't we do this? I think I think this is great, and I love how you've put it at the fifth grade level. You know, trade compliance is complex. Everything you're doing in the back end, Afolabi, is complex. You know, but you're making it simpler. I think it's always good to have that caveat, right? Like the tool might look simple, but what's actually happening in the back end is and so I know we wanted to look at two or three HS codes. Why don't you go ahead with running the other ones?
Let me grab another one. Like the prepared meals, something like that.
Mhm.
Another cool thing that this has is you can either search by code, you can search by description, you can search by CBP rulings here, you can search by image. Some people say, I just want to drop my image in. I want the AI image recognition to kind of figure it out for me. So if you're a little bit lazy like I want to be sometimes, you can pop in your image here and you can identify the product and it will search it for you, especially if your image has white background. Or if you want to look into rulings, there's some words and phrases that are not in the USITC database. So let's say I'm searching for running shoes and sneakers or running shoes is not in the CBP database. I'll go to rulings. If somebody gives me some weird fish name that I try the HTS search, it doesn't exist. I usually will go to rulings because I know somebody must have filed some sort of appeal with the CBP, and it will be in the cross or rulings database. So let's do the next one. So this is more of a prepared meal, and I dump it here, and it's telling me, it's let's look at this. Let's say it's coming from, let's say this is coming from Chile. I have no clue if they have this in Chile, but hey, let's try. So it already shortlisted it for me. But because it's a prepared dinner we're trying to get, so we would look into this to says fish meat and prepared meal. So maybe we use this one here, and the same process we go into, we just click on view rate details to see the full rate details. Another thing is for other types of seafood, you can also see that it found all these things for you as well. So we just click on view rate details, and it's showing us all the suffixes here. And you can actually click on the suffix. So, and it's categorizing the suffix for you in the order of priority to what you're actually looking for. So instead of digging through several suffix, it already did the job for you so that you don't have to go through the pain of looking for all that. And then you can click back button, and it shows compliance alerts again. You click on it, it tells you what it is. You click on the view details. It's telling you USDA, APHIS, FDA, seafood import monitoring, program says specific data is required, and it's giving you all the codes here as well. So it's pretty straightforward. The duty rate is, because it's free from Chile, you don't need to pay any duty when it's coming. And then just like I described, you're exporting, you can see your Schedule B here, and this other stuff, special trade program, and if there are lower duty rates from other countries, it's free. So free is free, free is the lowest. So it wouldn't show any other similar products that are also lower than free, because free is the lowest. So that's another example of how to do how to look at prepared meals, prepared fish meal.
That's great. really helpful and easy to navigate and use. So yeah, well done on building this platform, Afolabi.
Thank you. Thank you.